welcome back to Final Fantasy IX with me, Matthew Caddis, aka Puggy. So, with Dagger seemingly going off with Steiner, and us now having to leave for Burmecia, it means that we have to head to Grizamaluk's Grotto. Although there is one more party member who is optional at this point, but I do want to get them anyway. So yeah. But for now, I am going to fight these annoying crabs. Now, the fights will get quite a bit harder, especially like me if you're lower leveled here. Seriously. Keep in mind that even though I have equipped the coral ring on Freya, she does not yet know Race's Wind, her ability that gives her regen all, as it were. And of course, the fact that Vivi's magic is kind of negated when it's used on multiple enemies and whatnot. These bean crabs, they are, of course, no water. Seriously. But the other thing of note, because Dagger is no longer in our party, it does mean that we will have to rely more on our supply of potions. At least for now, until I get the optional character. And trust me, getting this character is well worth your while if you're looking for a replacement healer. Granted, it's not as great as Dagger's cure spells, but it will have to do here. Seriously, because but never mind that. Let's actually heal ourselves first before these giant enemy crabs try and turn us into, well, use us as their weak point, or our weak point, should I say. Anyway, that being said, yeah, you can easily do some easy level grind here. And get some ore! I know I did get some ore earlier off the moose in the Festival of the Hunts, but if you come across any friendly enemies, then that is quite helpful. Anyway, this is the Qus Marsh, where we will find our character. And if you paid attention when we at the beginning of the game in Alexandria, you may well recognize this character. Indeed, as we go through the marshes up to the top near this gigantic lake here, we will find a rather hungry character with a giant tongue and a chef's hat, I believe, but yeah. So what we want to do is actually catch a frog, which is fairly easy to do, as long as they're standing on the, out of the water, should I say. Yes, we got frog. But anyway, yeah, believe it or not, this is Quina Quen, a character who is optional in Disc 1, but will become very important in Disc... Well, not Disc 2, but Disc 3 onwards. And so I do want to put them, because it's a... I'm guessing that one of the first non-binary video game characters to ever exist, so they is their pronoun. Or he, she, I guess. I'll just go with they. But anyway, that is Master Quale. Apparently, the one who's teaching Quina about eating food anyway, or eating things, and cooking, given that they were at the thing there. Frog's very good, I guess. I've never had any. Well, that's probably because they live here, really. Although, yes, many, many foods indeed. There's more than just frogs there, Quina, seriously. It seems Quale is quite a bit short-tempered here. Yeah, and that's quite helpful for when you're trying to get various things for Quina. More on that in a moment. Well, we do need an extra party member now that Dagger and Steiner have left. Yeah, I'll take them with us. Yeah, seriously. Really. I don't see why Quale doesn't look... well, I don't know. Another thing of note, Vivi also notes that Quale looks like Quan, the guy who he calls his grandfather. Yeah, well, looks can be deceiving, Vivi, seriously. Oh boy. Bigot? Okay, what did he do to your tribe then? What is it, like a thing? Casual racism? That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe he was an outcast or something. Who knows? We don't really know throughout the game, so... yeah. Well, anyway, one of the things you can do with Quina is that, is, as mentioned, capturing frogs. That is one of the many games in Final Fantasy IX, and one that is quite fun to do. So the more frogs you get, the better prizes you get from Master Quale, basically. Yeah, I think you can. It's probably quite fun. But anyway, let's get to actually capturing the frogs. Actually capturing the frogs is quite easy. Just wait for them to jump onto the surface. Although they are quite quick to get away. Also, you probably want to leave at least one male or female frog just so their population will recover. Because I think there is an existential threat is any member of the Q tribe, not just Quina here. But, yeah, the more frogs you get, the more prizes you get, basically. Quite a fun little minigame, and nothing too hard anyway. There aren't that many minigames. There is also the card game Tetramaster, which we will be visiting as it's part of the plot, unlike with Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII. But, yeah, the other thing is chocobos, but I find I don't use the chocobos much here, but never mind. Let's actually leave now, seriously, because I want to look at the other ability Quina has, probably my favourite one in the game, with regards to them at least. So that's why I'm running around here. I'm trying to get into a battle. I don't know if I do so, but there are some enemies on the Qus Marsh, seriously. I guess not, but there are some outside anyway, including those annoying crabs, which we will run into here. Seriously. Oh, indeed, to quote again from the Genji 2 announcement back in 2006, giant enemy crabs. Seriously. Well, because the one in Genji 2. Anyway, basically, the thing with Quina is that he is... sorry! I have to get used to that. They are a blue mage, so they learn abilities from... let me see, it's... in the case of Quina, eating the enemies. However, they have to be well done, in other words, on very low HP in order for Quina to actually eat them. Otherwise, no can eat, basically. And once you've eaten the enemy, I guess the blue magic is learned for good. Kind of like the enemy skill materia, although you can't manipulate the enemy like in Final Fantasy VII, unfortunately. Yeah, manipulate was just a thing that you could do with that to learn enemy skills. It's a shame because, I mean, Beta was one of my favourites, and you had to learn that from the big guy Zolom. Something that was not available via manipulation, shall we say. But yeah. And what I'm trying to do here, despite Vivi being KO'd here, is that, trying to get on more things. The blue magic that can be learned from these crabs, by the way, is Aqua Breath. So yeah, an okay one, I'd guess. But I'm prioritizing Freya over Vivi here because she can do more damage. Even though Vivi does know Thunder, yeah, not great. So I went for the thing. So try eating it now, Quina. Go on. There, Aqua Breath. And that applies to all other enemies, by the way. Quina will not, will say, oh, they're too full or or it tastes bad. That's what they say. That's what Quina says, should I say. It tastes really bad. So in that case, I'll use Phoenix down on Vivi because he needs to recover, goddammit. And let's run into our next enemy, or indeed use a tent. I have two of them. I don't know if I do return to the merchant at the, was it the Serpent's Gate or the Dragon's Gate? I don't remember. But Lindbloom, basically, the bottom of Lindbloom at the entrance to this area outside of Lindbloom. But we're going to face some even tougher enemies, which the prize will be even better. Namely, these annoying serpent creatures who seemingly can poison you. Seriously. I don't know if I have enough antidotes to deal with them because, as I mentioned, Dagger is no longer in our party, of course. But yeah, once they've gone into their attacking stance, these annoying Serpions is what they're called. They will basically attack and indeed poison us. Seemingly, Quina does not have great defense, as yeah, they went down easily to these guys. And again, yeah, as I say, I am low leveled at this point, and I am using up all of my high potions as well. But never mind, this does take me a while, so I'm going to skip to where I eat them because the ability they give you is pretty good, to be honest. And the ability you can learn is, well, let's eat them and see because that's quite important. It is Mighty Guard! Yeah, something I had to beat a behemoth for in Final Fantasy VIII. So... yeah, very annoying. You can actually learn Mighty Guard pretty easily at this point. The only other Final Fantasy game I know of where you can learn it early, I think, is maybe Final Fantasy VII with the beach plugs. Though it doesn't grant you haste, it only grants you shell and protect, so be wary of that. But yeah, regular potions still seem to heal quite decently. They're not exactly 150 HP, so... yeah, nothing too bad there. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. On the next episode, we'll head into Gizamaluk's grotto. And indeed, that's going to be a tough one, seriously. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.